Shirt show. All right, let's go.
Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! All right! Episode 105 of Shirt Show. We're talking with Leena and Jake from Becker Supply Co. in Indiana. Let's go!
Hello.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Are you good?
Yeah. So I think we should go. I think we should just go ahead and check. Can you hear me? What? Can you hear me? I like your hair. I like your shirt. I miss you. It's so cool. Can't wait to be with you later. Like we are here at our first on-site episode.
Mm-hmm.
And who are
It's
we here with,
exciting.
Dylan?
How do you pronounce it?
We thought we picked a
Baker.
good name, but
Becker Supply Co.
We get Baker.
Becker Supply Co.
Yeah, and we're here with Leena
Mhm.
and Jake. And this
Dylan.
is Dylan.
This is Dylan. I think they know who that is.
And I'm Andy. And where is Becker Supply located, guys?
We're in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah, the beautiful that we haven't been here. Have you been here before? Ever?
Nope, never been here.
Why are you here?
he doesn't know where
For
he
you?
is.
I'm here because Alex called me a week ago and said, "Hey, do you want to come to Indiana?" And I said, "Yeah."
Yeah, so we were on our way here because of the Graphics Expo, and we looked up. I don't know. I guess you know these guys, and you said, "Hey, we should cruise by and chat with them."
I
And
thought
so-
their shop was okay, and then we visited and saw it in real life, and I was like, "This is we made a mistake."
I wish we could turn around the camera around and show this place because
Yeah.
it is so cool. Like I want.
Yeah.
This is I think when we get back, our showrooms, we got to do some, you know what I mean? When you go to a place and like, sometimes we go on a open house or whatever, and we go
Right.
home, we're like, what's wrong with us? So we got to immediately start doing stuff. So
Yep.
that's the way I feel right now.
Yeah. We
Well,
feel
I
it all the time.
appreciate that. We
Yeah.
sit in here and we're like, this is terrible.
Yeah. Well, you see it every day, though.
I know. Yeah, exactly. When you sit in here, you just see what's wrong. You don't see.
Yeah, and you were saying when we were setting up that you haven't moved it since you've been in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long have you guys been in here?
January 5th, 2021.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Yep.
what is that? A little over
Year
a
and a half.
year?
I think it's,
Year and a half?
Don't ask me to do
I'm bad at math.
But so where do you do the printing out of?
So we have a production facility at another location.
It's like 20 minutes away.
It's a secret location.
Yeah.
It's not far from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing special,
Yeah.
honestly.
It's kind of a bridge for us right now.
Yeah, but what was the reasoning for that? Why did you have separate places?
Because, well, we signed a lease to this. COVID happened, and then it kind of threw everything off.
Well, we were printing in our garage. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, what happened is I got pregnant and I was like, this shit's got to go. So,
So we have kind of a handshake deal on a space that we're currently in.
Were you originally planning on doing printing here too, or just
Live printing.
Kind of, yeah.
Not full time, but live printing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we-
but a lot of, well, from what I've seen, a lot of the designs are what, 1 to how many
1, 2
colors?
colors.
Prints do you have?
1 to 2
Yeah.
colors.
1 to 2
mostly.
color?
Yeah, we keep it simple for a
Mhm.
reason.
Yeah. I just mean as far as like if you did want to set up here, you could set up like a 4 color,
yeah.
4 color 4 station or something in a dryer and just print out of
Yep.
here.
Yeah. I mean, we have like our setup's not very big. Like it's a manual.
Yeah, it's a 4 color or a 6 color 4
Four
stations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
what's-
like we could, in theory, bring that here, but
Right.
we just worry with like the fumes and stuff with the dryer in the food hall.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So to kind of paint the picture of where we are a little bit better is we are in
What
a
do you call it? What is
Yeah.
it?
Called the
Food
garage food hall.
Yeah.
garage food hall.
Mhm.
And as we were walking in, we had to pass by like 5 places I definitely would have eaten at
Yeah.
right away.
I did eat here yesterday.
So you guys, obviously for lunch, you're set.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. We
terrible.
spend too much.
I
money
try to
here.
bring food because,
What's your favorite place to eat here?
I mean, I get
That's
the poke all the time because it's right there and it's one of the healthier options, but
Right.
I also get the cheeseburger, like if I don't get that. So
Yeah,
That was the one thing I didn't eat I had what was it, the Brazilian kitchen one
Yeah.
and the
Gauchos.
noodles.
Noodles. Yeah. The noodles place is newer than a lot of the other
All
places.
time.
Jay's Lobster is
You
a
don't work
big
at
hit here.
Alpha?
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about that if you want, because it's so exciting.
Mhm.
What?
You have been too. You know what? Okay, so I texted Dylan. We've had this little competition, like we talked about on this last episode that's coming out soon. A step competition, because we try and get our steps in, because we're, it's about the health. Like
Yep.
it's about our beach bods and stuff like that. And
Beach ball bod.
and I think I've lost every single
Ounce of
time.
respect.
No, just every single time. Like my steps, I'm just never come close.
You kicked my ass yesterday.
But yesterday was a whole different story. And
Yeah.
normally I get my steps on like a walk outside in nature with sky above me and fresh air. But every single step was in my shop, except for,
Yeah.
I guess, the steps from my car to my shop, and then in my
Right.
shop, and then my shop to my car.
Oh man.
And it was a really neat number, in fact. Let's look this up. I have.
I was just showing it off at lunch. I was like, me and Andy talk about steps, and then I showed the picture of your steps, and I was like, he kicked my ass yesterday.
I did.
Yeah.
And you won't be able to see this, but it's two.
Do you know?
I
Do you know how
told you.
numbers work?
Told you, yeah. Told you numbers are kind of hard. I'm really great at addition. You established
You want
that,
me to
but-
read it for you?
Yeah, could you
It's not
help me out?
subtraction.
What does that say?
20,220 steps.
Hell yeah. I won yesterday for the first time.
I think I had like 4,000 steps yesterday.
I feel like when you worked in like a bigger shop, you would get like 30,000 steps in a day.
Easy.
Yeah, that's real.
Just in the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people,
But
You know-
that's a big topic with print shops, though, too.
It is.
Like Ryan says is you're not supposed to be taking that many steps.
You're doing too much work.
I think,
Well, things aren't in the
hold
right
on,
spot.
Right.
hold on. I think it depends on your role. Like if you're a press op, yeah, you
Mhm.
shouldn't be,
You're
He didn't want you to-
forward, stepping back.
exactly.
You
He
should be
does,
in your bubble, in your circle.
Mhm.
right. But if you're a production manager or operations manager, or something like that, you're probably all over the shop. And so yesterday, the reason why I got so many steps was because we have some people out right now.
Mm.
And one of them was production manager. And so I was doing his job and doing my job. I was on press, was I? I don't know. Maybe it was a blur.
Yeah.
It was just one of those days where everything was happening. We screwed up a 253 piece order. You want to know
Makes
about
sense.
that? We can,
Sounds
start,
about
right.
we can depress people right away. So
Yeah, let's do it.
let's see. So one color front, one color back sounds really hard.
Mhm.
You guys specialize in that. You should have been printing for us yesterday. Actually, the print was perfect. It was just that we ordered, the customer wanted dark heather, Gildan 5000s dark heather,
Mhm.
and we had graphite heather. Not exactly close, but sort of close.
Right.
And we printed 253 fronts, and then they flipped it and they went to
Realized the
approve
mistake.
the back, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
And so, two options, right? So I call the customer and say, "Here's what happened." And the event is this weekend, so they were handing them out Friday. I said two options. One is that we put a credit on your account.
Yeah.
There's 253 shirts. So I said $253, and you can use it on your next order. And she was like, "Okay, yeah, I think that's cool. Okay, yeah, well, let's just do that." And she hung up, and I just thought to myself,
Okay.
she went along with it, but I don't think she was happy with
Wanted
it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I added up. I said, "Hey, Jojo, put these shirts in your cart. How much does it cost?" And it came to like $560. And I'm like, for another 200 and whatever dollars, she's super happy.
Right.
Let's just order them. We did, and we made it right. And so I hope they came in, and they were. Oh, actually, they did. They got checked in today.
I feel
And
like most customers wouldn't know the difference between the two grays.
Right. Yeah. That's
Right. Right.
I mean, not to try to be a skis ball, but you
Yeah.
probably could have gotten away with it.
I think so too. We sent her a
Give a
pic.
discount and be done.
We sent her a picture, and the reason why I think that she was handing him out was for a dance thing or something like that, and
Yeah.
all of the people would have been fine with it. They would have
Yeah.
liked them, but
First of all, you could tell that they didn't care that much about the order because they ordered fucking Gildan 5000s.
Well, there were youth sizes and stuff like that. There were things about it, but what I was going to say something and make a point.
I interrupted.
Derailed me. The reason why is because it had a halftone. It had some halftone work of a dancing girl in the front, and with some hair with some halftone work. And on the lighter graphite heather shirt, it didn't contrast the same as it would have on the dark. I get deep heather and dark heather mixed up, but it was dark heather.
Yeah.
And so it just looked better. It just did.
Right.
And so we just made it right.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's what I preach. And then here I am not doing that. That wouldn't have been cool. Made it right. And guess what? She better tell all her friends.
She's like, well,
I feel like I would. I feel like I would be irritated if she was mad that it was the wrong color.
I feel like that's the worst thing is when you do fix it for somebody and then they go somewhere else afterwards. And
Right.
It's kind of like, well, why did I even bother fixing it?
It's defeating.
Yeah.
So do you do custom work or is it just your own?
Yeah, we do custom.
Okay.
Yep.
Not like a ton, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How do you advertise that though?
We really don't. I mean,
well, the store stands as like a shop for people to come in and they're like, oh my gosh, I love your stuff. I want my company to have stuff like this.
Well, that's why I wondered if you had anything like on the counter or anything over there
don't.
that says like, do you want us to print your stuff?
No,
because
because
if we're having a real conversation with somebody, that's what it turns into. We don't want just to walk up like,
I mean,
I want 12 shirts for my family vacation. Like,
right. Well, that would suck if you're trying to check people out in here. I mean, we've been here for what, like half hour, 45 minutes, and there's already been a bunch of people in here shopping. So
you
wouldn't want some jackhole at the counter being like, I want 12 shirts, and then you stand there for 45 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, we try to be particular about everybody we work with.
Yeah.
Like, even though like we're just starting off, but like we've been in screen printing, we know how it is to deal with people that we don't want to work with. And it's terrible. Like we try to get the customers that want to do retail stuff like we do. And because we want to create stuff that we like and it's similar to us.
Yeah.
And that's something we talk about a lot too, is just you guys found the niche that you know about. Like we were talking last night at the bar that you go to the outdoor expo, right?
Outdoor retailer.
Outdoor. Yeah. So like you're trying to get clients, you're trying to print for clients like that.
Yep.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
So you know what feel and what hand they want, what blanks they like and everything else.
Yeah. We want to work with the same type of products for other brands, other businesses.
Right. Like-minded people.
Yeah.
So before we get any or too much further, let's talk about the companies that support our show. And first off, first off, hold on.
Yeah, I can see.
Frank. All right. Well, we're making it work.
I saw Mini Frank today.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's he doing, man?
He came, he drove down. He said it was like 2-hour drive. And he just said that Frank told him to come up and give me a bear hug. And he's like, I'm not doing that. So he gave me a long handshake. And I said, I loved you. And then we kissed on the cheek. And then he went his way and I went my way.
Are we going to see him tomorrow or the next day?
No, he said he was only.
Oh, okay.
He said he wanted to get out of here before.
Well, Mini Frank, sorry I missed you. But I was, I guess, hi from afar. Dilly, it all starts with a screen, and whether it's new stretches or restretches, Frank and his team do it the best. To find out more, go to.
Yeah, so you're going to do it.
Graphic.
You forget how this works.
graphicscreenfashion.com, FFFF.
Rank.com. Or greatfuckingscreens.com.
Let's let these guys do the next one. So it was,
we'll screw this up.
it's just start with the cleaning screen.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. You bet.
Yeah.
Cleaning screens. Yeah. That part.
You're Andy.
Get closer.
Get close.
Cleaning screens is no fun, but Easy Way makes it funner.
I like this.
Their line of eco-friendly chemicals will keep your shop and your screens clean. Check them out at easyway.com.
Easy way. It's the easiest way.
Yes. Oh yeah. I do miss saying it though.
This never. Go ahead. Here. So
okay.
You can have it.
It's all right. I've seen so much Alex in the past 2 weeks. I can share.
It's enough, right? So, all right. So Action Engineering makes all kinds of accessories printers need. Go to actionengineering.com to have a look, and then use Shirt Show at checkout and get a one-time discount of 15% off.
And
Also, code SS103 is good for 10% off during the month of June and can be used how many times, Dylan?
unlimited.
Get it done in the month of June. Next, we have Monarch Color, and they make ink that does what it's supposed to do. Dylan and I, we both use their high opacity mixing system. Yeah. How do you like it, Dylan?
Love it. It does what it's supposed to do. It's amazing. I do love it. It's the best thing I've ever seen.
Aaron, we are so sorry about this, but look, if you want to learn more, go to monarchcolor.com. Ink better, print better, be better.
Moss.
Yeah.
And this is a big announcement. I'm sure you guys feel special that you're here during this announcement. But we are excited that Chromaline is now supporting the show. I've used their products for years, and they're another company, just like Frank, just like all of our other supporters, who not only make an incredible product, but they have an incredible team.
Great people.
Great people. I know Kevin, he came to our shop and helped us dial in our screen room. And but look, if you can't come to your shop, if you can't make it there, he has a lot of videos on YouTube. He goes by Emulsion Guru
On Instagram.
on Instagram. Yeah. And I think also on YouTube. Yeah. So, and so just go to YouTube, look for Emulsion Guru. He knows it all. I think it speaks for itself, right? He's a guru.
Yeah, and I don't even use Chromaline. I have tried it before. I have no issue with it. But what I was going to say is, like you said, the great people is that yes, the great people, they came out to my shop and helped me out with a ton of stuff, like testing EOMs and helping in the dark room and all that stuff. So they are just really good people and happy to help people in the industry. So
yeah,
Sweet.
to find out more, go to chromaline.com.
Yep.
I think it's it. Yeah.
Also, is this 104?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Was the one we did last week 104? Because we never, it's 2 years,
Oh, really?
Well,
our
that's
2
what
year anniversary.
Christina said.
Let's just
That
say
was
this
the
is.
whole point.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, this is our 2 year anniversary.
104.
Yeah. This is 105, but 104. Let's make out.
You mean you planned this out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
2
Yeah,
years
it sounds.
straight.
I think it might be though. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's-
Or are we those parents that we would say 24-month-old show?
Yep.
Yeah,
I think you should.
we printed some toddler
It's like a baby.
things, toddler onesies. Yeah, yesterday, and it started at like newborns. And I never recommend, like when I had a kid, I never bought a newborn.
Yeah,
stuff.
they grow up
Does
in
anybody do
3
that?
days.
Well, ours even wore preemies, so
Oh.
newborn.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
that makes sense.
We had them a month early.
Yeah, I
so-
feel like an asshole now. Sorry.
Well, no.
You know, those asshole
Not
parents.
everybody has 7-pound babies, okay?
Oh, because they were twins. That makes sense.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of them have a lot of
Yes.
times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, they grow out of it super
5-pounders.
fast. Have you guys printed any merch for your kids?
Oh yeah.
Not specifically for.
Well, yeah. We'll
Yeah.
we'll order extras if we're printing.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of our wholesale clients will order, and then like we might not carry it in store, but we'll print some for our kids.
Mm-hmm.
Change the screen size out just to fit it on a newborn size.
Yeah.
onesie.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah. Oh, it's a pain.
multiple.
Yeah, that was
sizes.
just
We
it.
tried so hard to stay away from it.
We did. It was a one color front, one color back, and we did. It went from newborn all the way to like 3X.
Oh my god.
Really?
And you want to. I think we charged for one set of like one resize, and then we're trying to make it work, but it just didn't.
What did you print them on? Did you print them on a sleep palette?
No, we actually have a youth palette, and you know what? We usually have our shit together, but our youth palettes are 10 inches wide, and so we've
Well, that's
been
what I was going to say, but like a onesie that small would stretch.
we also have that was it. You're right. So we went from whatever smaller thing, whatever palette to youth palette to adult.
Technicals.
It sucked. Yeah. And we printed on the 12 color. But what I was going to say, we did when we got to the youth size, we ran him at 9.5, right? Because we figured 1/4 inch on each side.
Right.
Yeah.
And our rubber has shrunk. Does your rubber
Yeah.
ever shrink?
And then it curls up on the side slightly, and then
Yeah.
you're off contact spot.
Yeah. Yeah. So it didn't was barely, and a couple of parts went off the edge and it just didn't look so hot.
That's
So
why we
went-
say a full inch sometimes.
That's what we changed it to. So yeah, we just changed it to 9 inches as our
You could have
biggest.
called me. I could have saved you all the trouble.
Next time.
Yeah, we go from like a 6-inch use palette for like the smaller, like toddler sizes.
Mhm.
6-inch would be great. Like
Yeah.
I feel like a 6 to 8-inch palette would be great
Yeah.
for. And I'm actually thinking about buying custom from actionengineering.com. Custom like a 6-inch sleeve palette.
Yeah.
Because right now I run 4s.
Yep.
Same, yeah.
Because we're getting so many requests for people that want like really fat, thick.
If you
sleeve
can hardly fit, like if it's an adult small, forget about it.
Right, but for the customers that want it, they want more of like a baggier fit, boxy fit, long sleeve. So
Yeah.
it'll fit, and they're not doing youth. It's the problem when you want to do like a slim fit shirt, then they go like extra smaller ladies,
Yeah.
and it's not going to fit. So
Right. Yeah, Bella canvas won't work.
get a big job that wants those big sleeve prints, and just buy the pellets and eat it, put the cost in. So. So now that we got sponsor stuff done, start at the beginning. Tell us how it all started. How you were working at other print shops, and you were both
Yeah.
working
You want
at
me
a
to-
print shop.
Mhm.
Yeah. You want me to go first?
Pull the mic closer. When
You talk first because he's been in the industry.
Yeah. So I got into screen printing really right out of college. Working at a shop in Fort Wayne. Started off as just cleaning screens, just 100 screens a day, just manually cleaning screens. And within 3 months, I was essentially running the shop on the screen print side. The shop I was working for mainly did embroidery. Like they were an embroidery shop first. They had 2 autos and a manual. I went from there to pretty much, just being a press operator, doing simulated process and knocking out, I don't know, 10 color jobs all day long.
Now, were they seeing talents from other parts of you working in the shop, or did they just need somebody and you were like, I'll do it?
A combination. Yeah. It was a combination. I mean, I was
That's who you are.
cleaning 100 screens a day. They were like, this dude actually, he hasn't quit yet.
Right.
He's still going.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So-
a start.
I mean, I wanted to get into it. So, I mean, I was doing apparel brands when I was in middle school, and my mom was setting up a PayPal account for me.
Awesome.
So it was something I wanted to get into, and that was my in essentially. So I grinded it out, and I mean, that's,
So this was the first shop you were into,
yep. This was up in Fort Wayne.
and then what happened after that?
So after that, we kept growing. I was kind of maxed out at the business, and it was a family run business. I had nowhere to go. I was just kind of capped out and wanted to change. And I reached out to Marcotte and said, here's 3 cities, find me a place. And he gave me a list, and I picked one, and I ended up in Indy. So,
Who doesn't know Matt Marcotte?
well, when he started at T&J, he, I think, got thrown on as a vendor for us, like right off the bat. So like I met him kind of right when he started working for T&J.
I didn't realize T&J had such a far reach.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they have I guess reps that service this area
Yeah,
too.
Matt
Yeah.
has touched
There's a
everything.
location, right?
Yeah.
Or there was.
Yeah. So he was, I want to say, I don't know if he got thrown into Indiana first, but that was back when T&J wasn't very big. They were just kind of Illinois. And I think when he came on, they were coming into Indiana, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you know Marcotte's voice is one of the best voices I've ever heard in my whole life. It's just so soothing and awesome. And it's so good that in fact, after he left T&J, I think for 5 years, you would call T&J and it would still be Marcotte's voice.
Yeah.
Like he's like, hey, you want to use somebody else? They're like, nope,
We got it. Yep.
we got your voice on the recording. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so he hooked me up with a shop down here, and they were in a growth spurt, and they needed another press operator and a guy with experience.
And this was a manual shop or auto?
This is an auto shop too. At the time when I got hired, it was one auto, and we were working 2 shifts. I mean, I was going in at, I think when I first started, I was in like at 4, and I was working till, I don't know, 2. And then there was a night shift. Kind of, we overlapped each other, and it just kept growing. We got a second auto. And then
That's a lot. That's a lot of wear on one press to go 2 shifts.
Yeah. I don't remember how many impressions the press had when I got there, but it hit 1 million really fast.
Well, Dylan, I think it depends on who makes the press.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. It was all M&R.
Well, there you go. So that's hardly any. In fact, I think it needed a 3rd shift, honestly, for it to really
You
work.
just started breaking it in.
Yep.
Yeah.
But so after I started at that shop 2 weeks, 2 weeks after he started.
A week. It was a week.
Yeah.
What were you doing before?
Well, I was in school. So I was here in Indian school, and I needed to do an internship for my program. So I was studying visual communication, so kind of like graphic design, and got hooked up with that shop. I mean, I didn't know anything about screen printing, no clue. And I don't know. It seems cool.
To get into, though.
Yeah.
Graphic design. You can learn how.
Yeah.
Well, and that was my background too. I went to school for graphic design.
Yeah.
But I sometimes think that makes the best, new person, actually. You don't know anything about screen printing.
Yeah.
I have about, I think, a handful of people that have started in the past, I don't know, 1 to 2 months that have known zero about screen printing, and they already know a ton, just the way we certify and train in. And also, if you pick the right person, it's, that's ambitious, or I should say, that's eager to learn and is really passionate about t-shirts.
Yeah.
They pick it up pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's kind of what happened to both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're both just hard workers, care about what we're doing. And I mean, we both love art and, being
I
creative.
feel like a lot of that definitely translates here for sure.
Yeah.
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 Like I said, I kind of got some story last night, even though I said don't spoil anything.
So we just sat next to each other and did not talk.
Yeah. I was like, hey guys, want to go out? And then we just sat there. We just looked at each other.
Like, all right, I'm good.
He started to talk, and I just ran my finger on his lips. So you both worked in the same place, didn't know each other until you both worked
Until
there.
that moment. Yeah.
And then she walked in the room and
Looked like an angel like I do right now.
I mean, essentially that's what happened. Yeah. Yeah.
one day you will be mine.
Yeah. No, he said he thought that.
Yeah. And it's funny, we had coworkers that were like, you should go after her. And we were already dating quietly.
Yeah, because we were because he was technically kind of my boss. Not really, but
not at that time.
But you were still
You did that, you pulled that same move.
A little bit. I was thinking of The Office, though, when when they were competing.
You want to keep this job, you're going to date me.
Oh,
That's what you said to her.
Mine was more, ours kind of worked out more I think it's called the Stockholm Syndrome, where she was in my office. I was like the hostage.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't the hostage. She was the hostage. Yeah, let's flip this. Let's tell the story the other way. Yeah. Joanne kept me hostage, and I just fell in love with her.
Yeah. She'll love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did that work out for you guys being there? I mean, did it make tension at work or?
I don't know. I mean, it's all we knew.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was natural for us because we met at a shop and we were working side by side every day. So it's
You were doing what?
Design.
Design.
Yeah.
You were just the designer at the shop?
Yeah, I was doing design and separations a little bit, films.
So your designs translated to him to getting him out in the shop and getting him printed?
Yep.
I have a question about that. I don't know how soon after you became a couple, but did you disclose it to management that you were dating, or did they just find out, or did anybody ever talk about it?
Yeah. So we didn't release it right away. We kept it quiet. I mean, it was a new thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long though. It feels a lot longer when you're in it.
Yeah.
I don't know,
especially when
maybe.
you're going out with them and pretending you don't talk to each other.
high five. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you deliberately kept it sort of under wraps
Yeah.
because you were concerned that,
Yeah.
they may let one of you go. Like that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we were worried about that. I think it was just, I don't
This
know.
was so long ago.
Yeah. I think it was just, it was a new thing.
Yeah.
What do we, how do we approach this?
well,
We
it's,
don't
yeah,
know
do
how
you say any,
serious.
yeah,
it's the
exactly.
same problem I have at Upstate. Apparently, is I'm a matchmaker, and everyone that works there fucking marries each other.
Well, that can be a real problem because let's say you
It's a
have,
problem for the owner.
it's a problem for the owner. That's what I mean. Because let's say let's say that happened to you. And then I don't want to put that on you. So let's say you hire somebody and there's two people start dating and then they
Mhm.
break up. And then what are they going to work together still?
Right.
No,
And-
one always goes away. Or
Yeah.
I mean, not to shit talk, but you guys both left.
Yeah. Well, I had taken other jobs so
Yeah.
we worked there together, and then I probably worked there for like a year. I graduated. I still worked there for a little bit, but I got like an actual design job
Mhm.
after that for like a year, and then worked somewhere else for another year. And then the owner,
You were still there. That
yeah,
whole time.
he was there the whole time. And then the owner found out that I kind of quitting my job or whatever. I was back on the market, and he's like, have her come back in here. I want to talk to her.
Yeah. He approached me and I was like, I'm staying out of this.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to come back, you two figure it out.
Mhm.
Because I stayed out of on her side too. I said,
Yeah.
you make the decision. I'm
Yep.
not persuading any party at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think also another issue is not only if one of them leaves, they both do or something like that, but if you have an issue with one of them,
Mhm.
let's say you have to discipline or not lay off, but terminate one of them,
Yeah.
then definitely the other one's going to leave. They're like, well, fuck this
Right,
guy, I'm
right.
out.
Well, it's the
Right,
same thing
so-
like at my shop. Like if I had to scold Chris or Sarah or something about something, like the other one's going to have to hear all about it. And then the other one's going to be bitter at me because I yelled at one of
Right.
them. And it's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah, it's definitely complicated.
Yeah.
So
like I had
Yeah.
to talk with Chris once before they got even engaged and stuff. And I was like, dude, you have to fucking marry her or I'm screwed.
Else.
Like
Yeah.
the thing is, there were two key people. You know what I mean? Like one is kind of like head of customer service, and one is like head of everything. So I
Right.
can't lose either of them. I mean, I could, but it would really suck. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
I think
feel
what you're
like
saying is that they have to like a divorce with you first.
yeah.
That makes sense.
You're the holder of the
That's fair.
contract, actually.
Their relationship. But the same thing, like
Yeah.
Brian and Kristen met at the shop, and they're married. I mean, Kristen left, but it was kind of a stepping stone for her. She knew she wasn't going to stay there, and she got her like kind of dream job at Cornell after she left the shop. So, I mean, that worked out. But again, it was just like people meeting at the workplace, and then it gets sketchy sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember when we told them or
It wasn't, I wouldn't say more than a month, probably.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I mean, we kept it so professional. I mean,
So you
we're-
came back.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like when I came back, were we already engaged or not?
No.
Not yet.
yeah.
But we had been together for years at that point.
But they knew
Oh yeah.
full well bringing
Yeah.
you back.
Yeah.
Well, at that time, we already owned a house together.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was,
We were essentially married.
yeah.
No, we had. Did we both? I can't remember now.
So what happened after that? After you both left that shop, and why did you leave that shop?
So, a lot of it was COVID.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess we should go back a little bit farther.
Yeah, it's twofold.
So I've been doing kind of the apparel brand since 2014. And
Oh, so you were working on this before
Yeah.
when you were at the other
it was
place.
kind of all
Yeah,
happening.
it
at the
Were
same
you
time.
printing these at home, or were you printing them at that shop?
at that shop,
Mm-hmm.
I had an agreement when I came on in Indy. I said, I have this brand. I'm going to negotiate that like I have press access. to
like
it.
after hours.
Yeah.
So how did that work exactly? What was your agreement with them?
I paid for the goods and I had pretty much free reign to the presses.
Did they charge you for ink or
Nope.
any time, anything?
Nope.
No.
See, that's something that we've kind of talked about before, and me and you had different opinions on it. Because like at my shop, I tell them pretty much that I'm like, you can do whatever you want to do as long as it's not during work hours, and I'm not like
Right.
you're not doing like a 10 color front and 10 color back kind of thing. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I think the problem and why we don't do it is that not everybody can run a press. And so how is it fair? So like, let's say a press op sure, you could say, or a production manager even, you could say, yeah, make some screens, throw it up on a press and print some shirts for your beer company, which is a real thing.
Yeah.
But then how is it?
Kyle.
Yeah, because I want to be able to tell him, yeah, because he prints some merch, just some, not to, I don't even think he really sells it. I think he just gives it away.
Yeah.
Right.
But wouldn't that be cool? Because you work there and he knows exactly what to do. He can just knock it out. And I want to say yes. But then what happens when somebody in quality control says, hey, I want that same deal.
Right.
And then he has to ask somebody a printer to do it.
Yeah.
And that person's going to have to be cool with it to stay late or after hours. And maybe you could find somebody, but
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I say is that if I had that person and he wanted to ask a printer, I'm like, you pay that printer, like pay him like $20
okay, cool.
cash to print you some shirts.
Or,
Okay,
it's,
cool, then.
it's a teachable moment that you teach them how to run the press.
That's true. I
Yeah.
like that.
Good.
But what happens when somebody like Kyle gets 30 shirts for his band, and that's no big deal because it's not going to take a whole lot of time. And then there's somebody else that gets 500 for a deal, and
Right.
he's going to be running everything for a couple hours and using, and it's a 10 color job. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
how is that? That all of a sudden becomes a real expense, and how do you? I think
feel
it's
like
really
there's a
tough
lot of
when you,
ways it can be taken advantage of.
I think that there is, and I think that when you're small and you have the type of shop I think that you have with it's your buds, and some of them are even from high school and they've been there since day one. I think that works out well. I think as you grow, it just becomes very complicated, and it can turn into. I think it can turn into something hard. So how you level all that playing field is just say, hey, contract pricing, here it is,
Yeah.
and go for it. Just run it through to like any other order. That way you're getting like half price basically.
Right.
And you can run it here. It's going to be half price of any other
It's
shop.
still a good deal. It's just
It's a great deal.
It's ran normally.
Yeah,
through the
look,
day.
we're not for profit,
Right.
but
Yeah.
at least we can. I guess we're not making any profit. At contract pricing, we still are making a little bit. We're paying the bills, and there's a
No.
little bit in there.
Yeah.
Right. Because what if they go into the design room because they're not designers and they stand there for an hour?
Right.
I've seen it happen, and they're going to stand there for an hour and they're designing something.
Mhm.
It's real. So I don't know. I think it gets complicated.
Yeah, definitely.
I would love to be the yes man that says, "Hey, print anything you want, whenever you want. Here are the keys."
I mean, the shop was small. Like, even when we left, there was 2 autos and
Well, the reason like kind of in
10
your
people.
situation and kind of my situation with my people is I look at it as like an added bonus or a perk for the employee.
Yeah.
Cause I don't want to be like, no, fuck, you can't do that. And they're going to be pissed at me. Like, I know how to run everything here. Why can't you just let me do it like at 6 o'clock or whatever?
Mhm.
And I'm just like, all right, yeah, like go ahead and do your thing. It's the same with like the live printing thing for us. It's
kind
of like an employee perk.
Yeah.
Right.
And when I was an operations manager, when I moved up into that position, I was doing that for some of the other staff. So I would give my time to them to help them out.
Right.
They weren't printing stuff every week all the time. It was just little project here.
Yeah.
little
It's
project
always
there.
super random for me.
Yeah.
It's never like a regular thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Which we were a regular thing. So that was a little bit different. So
My luck, like 3 pallets would show up like on the dock,
yeah.
and it'd be like,
Well, that's a whole different thing where I feel like they're getting orders at that point and they're doing not stuff for them. They're doing it for someone else.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and
It was never to that extent. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you were doing the brand how many years before?
So before I even moved to 2014, so I think
So 6 years.
yeah. So I moved here in 2015. Yeah, 2015.
Mhm.
It's like I was kind of already like a year into it. Just online, a few events. And then yeah, so we started dating. She kind of pushed me to do it more. She wanted to get involved with it.
Mhm.
So we started doing anything we wanted to do. Music
Were you
festivals.
I was gonna say, were you doing like craft fairs and festivals?
Yeah.
And all that stuff?
Yeah, antique markets, like music festivals that we wanted to go to.
Did you feel like those things were beneficial to the brand, or were they just kind of like you sold a shirt here? you
Both.
sold a shirt?
It was like
I feel like probably more so not really,
Yeah.
but
Well,
like-
that was like something like I was talking to you last night for me, like doing this side project thing. I kind of am curious to what your advice would be as somebody that's trying to do this kind of thing. Like, what's the one thing where you're like, oh, this totally works and it's totally like something to do?
I mean,
it's
that's
hard.
yeah.
Even just with events, like you have to just do them,
right.
see if they work out. If they work out, then you just keep doing them. If not,
Are there
then-
ones that are better than others?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
I feel like, is there a difference between like a First Friday in a town versus a craft fair versus a music festival?
I think
Yeah.
it depends on what you're selling.
Well, for you guys, what
For us, I think music festivals and anything local
Yeah.
that like we can say we're from here,
Right.
those always work the best.
Yeah.
Craft shows, it depends if you're next to somebody with like bedazzled jewelry, I don't think it's a good place for
Right.
you.
Right.
Some of the holiday markets are good. Some of them are bad. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
you have to look at who else is there and does it fit what you're selling?
So where did Becker Supply come from?
Yeah. So then we rebranded in 2019.
So what was it before?
So it was called Northern Pine Co.
Mhm.
And it was just a made up name that I came up with, and there was no meaning behind it. It was
Why
just
did you change it?
because we wanted to have meaning.
Yeah.
And
Every time somebody asks like what it meant, we're like, it's a tree. Like,
We like pine trees. So.
yeah.
and we're doing stuff like in Indiana and other places, and they're like, this isn't the North,
Yeah.
and we're like,
And we didn't care enough to even like back up our own name. So we're like, okay.
yeah,
And
we
the
got to take
brand,
this serious.
yeah, the brand in general, we just kind of would throw stuff together. There was no like brand guidelines or anything. So, and it was driving me nuts.
Didn't have a style guide or Pantone.
Yeah. Yeah.
You sold mostly online?
yeah.
Or-
With
Well-
Northern Pine Co.
Hmm.
I mean,
We did a lot of
we were,
events.
we mostly, I feel like it was mostly events.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so like part time for us. Like,
Yeah, it was like this music festivals in Peoria. We want to
That was
see
a bad
we want to see 3 of the bands. Like, how much does it cost to vend? Okay, we can make that money back. Let's go.
yeah, that one didn't work out because Peoria people don't know what a brand is.
Oh yeah.
So they're like, I don't get it.
What is this?
Like, okay, yeah, this
So where
is
did
not the
Becker
right
come from?
market.
It's her maiden name.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
So
mid-on, nobody
you were
can
like,
say
your
it.
name sucks.
Yeah.
We're gonna use my actual name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. And
Okay, cool.
she just got her name changed recently, right? I guess a
Well,
year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
COVID and and we still haven't gone on our honeymoon, so like I can't really change my name on some things. Like my passport, I can't change it because it's all in the nightmare.
when are you going on your honeymoon and where?
January, Thailand.
Yep.
Yeah, Alex was giving them all the Thailand secrets last night.
Yeah.
It wasn't Thailand before you
Massage
started
every
talking
day.
to Alex. He's the one that convinced you.
No, we
Yeah.
already, yeah.
He heard
No.
Thailand from across the room and was like, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's 2 years forward and we still have yet to go on our honeymoon.
Yeah.
Official honeymoon.
Yeah. Yeah. We went to Florida still
Yeah.
when we got married, but
So you were saying before the other place, the Pine brand or whatever, didn't have style guides or anything like that. Like
Yeah.
you as a designer, when you changed it to Becker, did you guys make it a lot more formal?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. And we
I mean,
actually,
you could see it. Like you could see like your branding is obvious and like very stands out. You know what I mean? That was like one of the things that like I go through and there's like a million print shops or a million whatever, like on my own personal Instagram. There's certain ones that I follow because like I get inspiration and stuff. And you guys were one of those places that I
Yeah.
follow and pay attention to because
Thank you.
I like
Yeah.
what you guys are doing.
Appreciate that.
yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, we
Yeah.
try. I don't
Right. Like I was like straight up, like I'm going to India. I'm coming here.
sweet.
I mean, it's hard when you're in it, no matter what business you're in,
Yeah.
because you're so involved with it that you can pick everything out of it.
Right.
And you're not the person looking at it from afar or from
Right.
just coming in and like, oh, this is cool. For us, it's like we could fix everything all the
Well,
time.
the problem is with a lot of companies like that too, they make the mistake of like constantly changing like their logo or
Mhm.
Yeah.
whatever. And it's like you said, you guys see it every single day and you're like, oh, I'm so sick of this.
I mean,
but
we
it's like,
talk about that all the time.
but it's like,
we should
every
add
new
more
person that
logos.
walks through the door, it's brand new to them.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And it looks to them like it looked to you when you first started and you're like, oh, this is rad.
Right. Yep.
And so that's why I feel like you should always keep, like that. Like you painted that on the wall over there.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's awesome. It was
Yeah. I
really,
think
really cool.
the funny thing about our brand is we did not design the logo
Yeah.
because
really?
we were like, we're too close to this. We
Right.
need somebody else to do it, even
Yeah.
though we're designers.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm still happy about it.
Yeah. We were throwing concepts together for months.
Yeah,
And it was
we're like,
just
we'll never
we can't
decide.
do this.
So is your icon mostly? What are you doing?
I'm getting a video of the sun so that they know how cool it is.
Okay.
And so Chad can.
So is the
Oh,
bee
sure.
like your icon for everything for the most part?
Yeah, I would say so.
Just the bee.
Yeah, like
Because like your shirt.
Well,
Yeah.
that one's newer. Like you just started using that this
Yeah.
year. Like until
it's
then, you
something
just
new
used
I'm
this.
trying to put into it a little bit more.
Right, but the cool thing is like you don't want to use like if you were doing some of these items, like you wouldn't want to have Becker on everything. You might just want to have the bee as an icon.
Right.
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 Like if you were to do hem tag on all your shirts or whatever, it's
Yeah.
better to just have the bee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we use a
Some
pine
people
tree.
saw
too.
that, they would be like, "Oh, I know what that is."
Yeah.
We do a pine tree too, but it's not like really official. But it's like we
Yeah.
do put that on stuff every once in a while. You'll see it in some other like designs. It's like a small part of the
I
design.
just feel like if you were at like an outdoor event and there was like 100 other people
Right.
similar to you at that place, like the bee's going to stand out way more than the pine tree's going to stand out.
Oh,
Right,
for sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to Dylan's brand consultation.
Right.
He's teaching us about our own brand.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Geez. All right. So you decided to leave the shop for what?
Well, yeah, we got to keep going back. So
Yeah.
we had
So yeah, we rebranded. We
got
like that.
approached for the holiday season
yes. Yeah.
to do a pop-up at the fashion mall here in town, which is just it's a mall. It's a higher end mall.
Yeah.
And we were tossing the idea of, is this even possible? Like we're both
We made
working.
full-time jobs.
Yeah, we're both working.
What did they
40.
want you to do?
They just wanted us to do a pop-up for the holiday season.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, I mean, but in an actual store, like it
Yeah.
was like a full store.
Yeah. It wasn't a cart. It wasn't a
So
display.
what was it though? Was it like what was the store and they approached you?
Yes.
Mhm.
Because they
Well,
saw
yeah,
us at an
small bit.
event and they were like, I like your brand. Like, have you ever talked about maybe doing a pop-up for the holiday season to get in front of more people?
Mhm.
And we made the decision pretty quick, but we had to
Yeah.
figure out how are we going to do this.
Yeah.
We work full-time jobs. You know, we're working.
I feel like- Yeah. I feel like I'm the person. I'm just like, yes, we're doing it.
yeah,
We'll figure it out.
But that's how all the cool shit happens.
Yeah.
You figure it out.
Yep.
right. We're
Yeah.
working 10-hour days and then we're trying to open up our first store.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think it's how a lot of people start. And I think it's smart to have this side hustle first,
Yeah.
because it takes a bit to just get it even going and off the ground.
Right.
But if you're going to take it seriously and really grow it, you have to go all in. I don't think there's half-assing it. I think if you really want it and it's really your passion, it's really tough to do it on weekends or nights or whenever you're going to do it.
Yep.
To grow it to, I think, what you want it to be eventually. And so but that's the hardest thing, isn't it? It's the hardest thing to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to walk away from the security of this job and just do this and just jump off into it,
Yeah,
And
Well,
so
and I don't think we would have if COVID didn't hit.
yeah,
We kind of like, so we were both laid off and we're like, we can't just sit here. So at that point, after the pop-up, we signed our lease for here. So like,
Yeah.
even before COVID, we knew we were opening the store
yeah.
at some point because it was
Yeah.
still completely under construction.
Hmm.
So
nobody had been here in this spot before. This was a new development.
totally new development.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were able to help design the whole space, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was 8 months before the store was supposed to open. We signed the lease here. So it was end of January, early February.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to open in October. And then COVID hit. And then COVID hit like
And did
a
you
month later.
were like,
2 months later.
oh shit, and wanted to just cancel the lease?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
Yeah. We,
did you call them or did you email them and say,
no.
We talked to like our attorney, but I don't remember. Like now, I don't.
Yeah.
Even remember.
I mean, there was a couple different times we were panicking.
Yeah.
Because we were like, how are we going to back out of this? Like,
we must have contacted them because I think I remember the manager here talking us back into it.
yeah.
So you had signed this lease. Did you personally guarantee it?
Yeah.
Yep. And did you? Well, like sometimes you sign a lease and it's through your company, and if you
Right.
go bankrupt, if you're incorporated, that's it. It's over.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes you have to personally guarantee it through your,
Yeah.
personally.
I mean, there was
And-
something on the line because we weren't able to get out.
Yeah.
Right.
I know that,
Thankfully.
You'd given a deposit
Yeah.
and stuff, and
Yeah.
Well,
there was-
it's kind of the same thing like me and you were talking about is like when COVID hit, we both had large equipment purchases in.
Mm.
Yeah.
And we had the option to cancel and we both were like, fuck it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
and
But
that's where we got to essentially.
Yeah.
though.
yeah. So we both were laid off, and we were like, what are we going to do? Like, we don't know if we're going to be going back ever. We don't know anything. So,
And we were supposed to get married in April. So
Well, you're
that-
forced to go all in at that point.
Yeah.
right. Then that's what happened. Like, we ended up just saying, okay, let's just buy equipment.
Yep.
Let's start printing. Cause we weren't even really anticipating on actually printing, like probably for a while.
yeah, that was 2-year plan down the road. We'll start making our own stuff because I was going to keep working. She was going to run the retail store. That was the plan.
Yeah. So we wouldn't have been full in.
Yeah.
We had no plan to be full in,
Yeah.
So
but I'm glad I'm glad it was forced.
This is an interesting topic of like coming in from having experience at full-fledged shops. What did you know going into buying equipment? What did you want to do? And what were your choices and why?
Well, what I wanted was impossible at that time
Yeah.
because it was April and I'm like, what can I get? And all production stopped from all the big shops.
Yeah.
I've always been a big M&R guy. So I'm like, I want M&R. And I couldn't get anything of what I needed at that time.
Well, and of course we're brand new. Like, we had a minimal budget.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Budget is usually a big thing. Like
Yeah.
I was the same way in the beginning. Like I knew I wanted M&R and that was my goal.
mhm,
But I had like, I don't know, like 5 random ass jalopy
right.
manual presses.
Right.
And then I eventually got something a little better and something a little better. And then I finally got that Sidewinder manual and I was like, I've made it. And
Yeah.
then I never used it ever because I bought an auto like immediately.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
Yeah. So we toyed with a couple different ideas of different presses, and Workhorse was the only one at the moment that I could go pick up within
Mhm.
30 days.
Yeah.
And we could have got it shipped.
But we weren't
Um,
doing anything.
We
so-
weren't doing anything, and it was going to take longer. It was
and
kind
it
of one of
was
those
more
deals.
expensive than it would have been for us to just drive out
Yeah.
there.
So at that time, we threw the dogs in the truck, and we took 10 days?
Something
We
like
took
that.
10
It was
days
like,
out
I think it was
west.
like almost 7 days. Like,
Yeah.
it was fast.
Yeah.
Where was it located?
So in
Phoenix.
Phoenix. So we drove out and took our time, and it's, COVID, everything's closed. You can't go in anywhere. We packed our huge Arctic cooler of food and drinks for
Yeah.
a week. And
The only
And
place
just-
we stopped was gas stations. That's
Yeah.
like the only thing we ever
Yeah.
even
It still
bought.
sounds awesome though. It sounds
Yeah.
like a fun adventure.
Yeah,
we went
it
through-
was fun.
we went through hip camps. So we were staying on people's properties,
Mhm.
camping,
Yeah.
some phenomenal
was cool.
places. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got
That's
a
how you should
U-Haul.
buy all equipment.
Yeah, I know.
We picked up a U-Haul, which was a whole ordeal.
Oh,
We had to
God.
go to like 2 different locations after we scheduled it a month in advance.
Yeah.
And
Well, and there's like no cell service where we're camping. So he's
Yeah.
like has to leave the campsite to try to call the U-Haul people because they're like, we don't have anything. And we're already in Arizona.
yeah, Phoenix, no
So
U-Hauls.
you took your truck, but you didn't pick the equipment up in your truck.
We did.
We were just getting a trailer.
Yeah. Trailer.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we just got a big trailer.
you had. So was it the press was exposed on a trailer, or you put you wrapped it or something?
It was an enclosed trailer
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
because I had my own trailer, but I was like, it just be cheap.
That would be
That looked
scary.
funny going down the highway.
I've done
Yeah,
that.
like, what's
I've done
that?
that. I
It was
drove
scary enough.
that
with an
Sidewinder
enclosed
I got.
trailer.
I put on my 5x8 like utility trailer.
Mm.
Just like I literally just set it on it and ratchet strapped over the top
Yeah.
and drove it 4 hours in Buffalo.
It's not electric though. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
if it gets rained on,
Right.
it's fine, I guess.
It was just spinning in the wind the whole way back.
Right.
I did not expect that thing to be so heavy. I'm like, I
They are
don't know
heavy.
how we're gonna get it off.
Oh yeah.
I didn't help, but
You get you get one of those wide load cars in front of you and backing you with the flashing lights just coming down the street.
yep.
So you go all in, you buy the equipment, you bring it back. Where do you set up shop?
Our 2-car garage.
Yep.
We converted half the house and the garage into a print shop.
I love it. Yeah. Did the same
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
We had the fortunate thing though to be on a dead end. I
Well,
don't know.
yeah, I was you we are too.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it's not like there's cars going by every moment or anything because I never had it exhausted properly, and so I would just open my garage door
Yep.
most of
That's what
the
we did.
time, you know.
Yep.
Yep.
fans.
Yep. And so people could look in and say like, what the fuck's going on in
Yeah.
there? You know?
Yeah.
Our neighbors definitely did that. Though.
Yeah.
And like all these boxes come into our house. UPS every day, all of a sudden.
FBI car outside. You see a guy doing this every so often.
Yeah. Our internet,
Five more boxes.
our internet is actually called FBI surveillance window.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever have like a semi back down your dead end,
No.
you know, to unload
No.
anything?
No, we never.
Yeah, that would be
well,
crazy.
we were only out of our garage for 6 months.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't very long.
How did it? So you had power, I guess, like
Yeah, we had somebody come out and get power for us.
because that was a
Oh yeah,
challenge.
we
I
had to
know, 'cause
redo the whole like
Yeah.
Right.
panel thing.
for us anyway. It was a challenge. To
Which
get-
it was an investment for our house. We updated our panel was like original from the
60s.
50s or
Okay.
60s. So
so it's
it
good you
was-
did it anyway.
Yeah, we
You
needed
just needed it for what? The dryer?
yeah.
Yeah, and we needed the new plug too.
Flash and who knows
Yeah,
what.
the
Yeah,
flash,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So you
that-
said you were only there 6 months.
yeah, 6 months. And well, yeah, so we,
6
Oh,
months
was
when
it
you're doing
6
a business goes.
I guess it was
super
a year.
fast.
Mhm.
I guess it was a year.
Yeah, it had to
6
have been
months into
longer
the
than
store. 6 months into
Okay,
the store.
yeah.
So it was a
So-
year.
So you had this at that time.
No.
No.
Yeah. So 6 months, then we opened the store. 6 months later. We
Oh,
So
okay.
it's
so a year. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
that. Like, there's no way it was only 6
Yeah.
months.
Yeah, so that went fast. So when we opened the store January, so we got pushed back, and we were still panicking because we wanted to get the holiday season, you know, because it was like, let's go. You know, we're supposed to open October. We were prepping for the holiday season, like this is going to be great, and then they pushed us to like January, and we're losing all of those sales.
Yeah. Well, what was it? When did we like actually like lose our jobs? Like April?
You guys
No.
lost
No,
your
no,
jobs
that was-
because of COVID.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we got laid off and they decided to switch things up, I guess.
Yeah, they said they weren't bringing her back right away, and then I was potentially going to come back, but we were already at that point already.
I mean, they
producing.
knew we were opening this, but I mean,
Yeah.
because I was production and art manager, but it was a big term.
Yeah.
But I did a lot of like customer relations, and I mean, he was like operations, but I mean, we were really important at the shop, but yeah.
I mean, it obviously
it's
it
for the
sucked at
best,
the
but-
time, but it's like
yeah.
we already had a plan. It sucked that it happened the way it did because we had a plan that like was going to be perfect for us, not just financially, but just to let us ease into the business a little bit instead of just like, all right, here you go.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
essentially how it
And
worked.
that whole situation, kind of what we were talking about with like couples working together. What was it when I was laid off? When we were laid off, the boss like only told him and he had to tell me
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah. So that was kind of that was difficult. It was
So
that,
the boss
that's-
came to you and said, "I'm laying you off and your wife, but you got to
Is that-
tell her."
I think
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. One of the, yes.
no, or you mean when you got let go?
I can't remember which one was it.
I don't know. So long ago now.
Yeah. I got let go over email.
And that was like very frustrating for us. And we were just, I think that was at the point where we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. And
Yeah.
if I go back to work, I go back to work. If not, it doesn't matter. She's going to run the store. And
Well, and we had not told them that and like posted anything about us buying equipment because we didn't want to like upset them. or-
Yeah, they might want to fire you right then.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So
that might have been why. if-
there's no way that.
You guys are so full of secrets.
Yeah.
Everybody can see right through it.
Yeah.
I've never really worried about. I think that maybe there's a concern when there's somebody that's working for you, then they're going to go start their own thing because it's
Yeah.
happened. I've had a lot of people leave and work at other shops.
Right.
But you know, it's like, I just don't, there's so much, especially I guess, you know, St. Louis is probably the similar size as Indianapolis. And there's a lot of work here.
Yeah.
Plus your thing, you're doing, you know, yeah, you said you do some custom work, but you're doing this
It's
too.
not any kind of competition.
Yeah, you know, it's a
Yeah.
different sort of
Yeah.
vibe. And there's like I just said, there's just so much work out there
Yeah.
that when I hear if somebody's going, now if they were going to open up across the street, that would piss me off.
Right.
Right.
You know, like, whoa,
Yeah.
you know, but like, as long as they don't do that and they're just opening a shop, well, then go for it. Because I think that I think a lot of times, especially in production, people get the idea that it's easy and that I could actually do it better than Andy.
Right.
And they're probably right. but
That's my favorite.
they're
That's
probably
my absolute favorite.
they're probably right about doing it better than me, because really it's that's really possible. But the easy part, they're always wrong about.
Right.
And so they get after it and they're like, holy shit, this is way harder. I thought I was going to go in there, do some printing, quote out some jobs or whatever, and it's going to be cake. But it's actually the harder part.
I've legit had that happen though. I have had people quit and then be like, I could do this on my own. Like, fuck this guy. And they start a shop, and then I get an apology note later of like, I'm sorry I left, and it is way harder than I thought it was. And I get the vibes of like, hey, can I get my job back? And then I say, hey,
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had to deal with that with employees in the past, like not with us, but our old job.
Yeah.
I mean, people leaving and then like begging back, and it was just like, no.
yeah.
And I understand that to an extent too, because, you know, the grass is greener. So I don't know, you're working at a place for a while and something happens. Maybe you don't like your coworker. It gets old even.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, I'm going to take this job for a couple more bucks. And you get over there and you don't realize that the energy is all wrong.
Right.
But or something like that. And they want to come back, or it's not air conditioned. Yes. Our shop is air conditioned.
Yeah.
Your shop there.
Yeah. It is. And just that little tiny thing. St. Louis, I don't know. It's probably similar weather here, but it's hot and humid, you know, and
Yeah,
Oh,
my
yeah.
shop's air conditioned.
it's whatever.
I mean, I guess ours is technically, but it
ours
doesn't
is.
really matter because
I just
mean,
keep
it doesn't
off,
get
to
that
be honest.
hot.
It's just
anyways.
me right now. So
Yeah.
So you left the house. Why did you leave the house?
Well, we needed the space because we
Yeah.
were using our spare bathroom as like the wash. No, we had a wash up. What were we doing with? Oh, it was our dark room.
our dark room. And then we had an office. We had one of the rooms converted to,
Yeah, it had like the exposure unit.
yeah.
And,
But that's a whole nother thing. It's like you have the lease here,
yeah,
and then you're like, I'm gonna go somewhere else now.
Yeah.
Are you paying for the
Yeah.
other place?
Yeah.
Or is
Yes.
that like
Yep.
Yeah.
So she got pregnant essentially right when we opened the store.
Yeah, the
And
week
that was part of the
how
decision.
dare you?
I
Yeah.
know.
It was-
I'll never live it down.
So that was like, okay, now we've got or at that point we had one location. We're literally operating like all of our apparel out of our house,
Yeah,
and we've got twins on the way.
yeah.
And we're like,
Yeah. When did you find out at what point that it was twins? You're like, okay.
we knew before it
8 weeks.
happened.
Yeah.
We knew before it happened.
It's like, I only make twins.
Yeah,
It's
no,
good.
seriously, that was probably the problem. We always talked about it being twins.
Yeah, both of our grandmas are twins.
Oh, really?
And,
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got what, one uncle? Or two?
Yeah, I have a
set
cousin
of
that's
uncles.
twins. My uncles are.
Are they identical twins?
No, none of them are identical, but mine are identical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or ours.
Whoa, we just learned something.
Breaking news.
He gets mad at me. He's like, you mean our kids?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna find out the hard way later.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the one that carried them, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have to do all that work.
that was terrible. Wouldn't
Yeah.
recommend it.
We
So you
needed our
got out
house.
of the house because you needed the house back.
We
Yeah.
needed the house back, and we were already growing out of it. I mean, it was already very difficult to
Yeah.
operate, and it was kind of like, all right, we have to get out now. So,
Yeah.
So how
but we
did you
still are
find the
like,
space that
we
you have
should
now?
still be in our garage.
so we've teamed up with a friend of ours that has space,
Yeah.
and we're just kind of in a shared space with him. We're kind of all over his space, so it's like we've got some of our space on one side of his building, and then like the other side.
It's divided with your own lock and key and stuff, or it's
No, it's
Yes.
shared.
we have like our own closed doors, but like
Yeah.
we didn't lock everything. We're not really worried about that side of
Yeah.
things.
There is,
What is he
there's a
doing there?
security.
He does grooming products.
Yeah.
So he actually does all of our grooming products.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you guys can team up in multiple
Yeah.
areas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
He has like laser engravers too. So I mean, we
Yeah.
haven't utilized it, but
Yeah.
could.
Yeah. So his
Cool,
business
like
is
glasses
growing.
and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that is a short-term deal.
Yeah. That was like part of it. We're like, we don't know how long we're going to be here. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we didn't have
Well,
the time.
you were telling me last night that you might possibly try to get another space across the street because it's street.
That's one of the places
Yeah.
we're looking at. So we're looking to pivot our business a little bit so that we can combine all of our retail and our
The print
production
shop.
Yeah.
into one so that we can start working together again.
Yeah.
Do you guys know Jared at Rockford Art Deli?
I've not
We
met.
don't know. I mean, we know Rockford Art Deli, but we
Yeah.
don't know
I think he's
them.
probably not that far, right?
No. I
No.
mean, it's just a couple hours.
Yeah, three
Probably.
hours, three
Yeah.
and a half.
We're friends with him and we've been to his shop and that's how his shop is. It's
Yeah.
like
It's
this, but
similar
there's a print
vibe.
shop in it.
Yeah.
Also, how you have this overhead door that I don't know, it opens, I guess,
It's
into
very,
Yes.
one end.
it's very
It
similar. to
opens, but we
Jared's.
can't use it.
Yeah. Not in here because of the food hall.
I mean,
Oh,
it
because
was,
of bugs or something, or
I
Yeah.
suppose, yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, that was part of the whole reason we wanted this area to have the garage door.
because people can walk in from the street.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
They're
And
supposed to put like double man door on that side now, but we'll see.
yeah. Yeah, because we have electric ran into the floor, so I can bring our electric dryer in here and do live printing.
Yeah.
And it's just something with COVID that never was really able to happen. And with the food hall in here and bugs and everything else, it was just like we just haven't utilized it here.
Right, right.
Yeah.
How much bigger is the other space than this one? The one over there.
The one
3 times.
that's like 3 times bigger.
Well, I think one of them's 2,800, one of them's 3,000, but I think the one we're looking at more is 3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're looking at a couple other areas that maybe aren't as foot traffic, but we can kind of create our own space.
What is the split for you guys between online sales and in-store sales?
In stores? A majority of all of our sales.
Yeah.
On the brand side, yeah,
Like-
for sure.
80-20 maybe.
Yeah.
And how much work?
So that's a big deciding factor.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we need to be in a space that people walk by and is heavily populated. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Because
Otherwise,
this area
we'd be
is a
losing
tourist area. I mean,
is it what? Oh.
it's a tourism area, so it's.
I guess we didn't really talk about like the bottle works in general.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So this whole site was a Coca-Cola bottling factory in the 30s. And
This building too?
this was like the garage where the
The Coke trucks were stored.
yeah, vehicles came in.
Yeah.
But the hotel was the actual bottling factory. And
But you guys are both staying there?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. And it is
It's so
crazy
cool.
dope.
yeah.
It's so cool. Like,
Yeah.
the halls are really giant, like when
Yeah.
you're walking down.
Shiny
The
red
red-
doors.
Shiny red doors.
Yep.
Bathrooms are clean.
And they have a
Yeah.
tap. They have taps in the hallway with like cold water and sparkling water.
Oh my God, what? That's a level. That's
I was
crazy.
really hoping the mini fridge would be fully stocked with Coke, but
They have a
Dang.
pool table like in the lobby area
Oh, yeah.
with
The whole
travertine floors.
the whole downstairs is like a coffee shop and a bar and everything.
It's immaculate.
Super nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Everything.
If they're still offering it, I would try to do the tour. They'll take you through like the lab and stuff.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
I would love-
In the old bank room where the trucks
bolts.
the bolts.
Yeah.
Trucks would drive up and give the money and they would put it in this giant.
Oh, I definitely wanna do
That's
that.
like original from the 20s.
And they give you
Yeah.
the recipe.
Yeah.
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 That's nice. Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Like everything's original. Like they've restored a lot of the tile.
Yeah. They like took, because I mean, it was pretty run down. I mean, I don't know how the city owned the building and the property for, I don't know how many years,
Yeah.
but it was pretty run down. They didn't.
Well, they
take
needed
care
a
of it.
really wealthy buyer to come in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. They have a lot of money.
Yeah. And the engine hoist that's above us was part of the city.
Yeah.
They used for school buses.
hmm
So how did that work out for you guys? Is it something where this company came in and restored everything and then came to a ton of people in town and said, hey, do you want to put your restaurants? Do you want to put your stores?
Yeah.
Do you want
Yeah.
to put all your
Yep. That's essentially.
Yeah.
how
I
it
mean,
went.
the whole idea behind the food hall was to bring in like brand new small businesses and help them grow. Most of these guys were food trucks before. They never had like an actual restaurant. So
Wow.
yeah.
So you guys got in on that, like when
Yeah.
it's all brand new. basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
We,
Yep.
I mean, we got to help pick out like.
Was there like a
everything here.
selection process, or you knew you had?
There was to an extent. I mean, we got
But they
lucky
picked us.
with timing. I think timing was
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And I think when we found out about this project, we were like, it's a lot of money for us. It's a big step, but it's like to be a part of this is going to be like awesome because this
Yeah.
fits our vibe.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And it was like, it was just perfect for us to like start out.
Yeah.
And they knew when we signed that this was just another bridge to the next,
Yeah. Yeah.
place.
I mean,
It's like
that
an
was the
incubator.
whole, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the whole premise of us being in here, as they said, we want you to be able to grow and come out to like an actual retail spot, not in the food hall,
Yeah.
which more and more every day.
Well, they own the place
clearly
across the street that you're looking at, right?
Yeah.
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 So the nice thing about that is you have an in already.
Exactly.
Like obviously we've been here, been doing good. We pay our rent.
Yep.
Right.
We want to grow to a bigger spot.
And I think
they like advocate the guys that we deal with advocate for us a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We're always like, I don't know why people like us, but I guess they do.
and they own properties all over the place. So
Yeah.
it's like they're not just an indie company. Like they're actually based out of Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what they specialize in. They restore old buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So what does your day look like? Because you said it seems like, Jake, you're at the production facility, I guess, printing and doing the printing for here and
Sometimes.
sometimes. And then you come here.
Yeah.
Leena, I know you said you just hired someone here for the counter.
Mhm.
Yep.
But before that, you hadn't had anybody ever, or
No,
just-
we have it just like the last month.
Hmm.
We've had we had an employee for a little bit, and then like some health issues came up and they left after like a week.
Hmm.
And we
Yeah.
were like, oh crap.
We had a
have
couple.
nobody
We had a couple college students that
left for the summer.
left for the summer.
Yeah.
So we were in a transition where we were going to get some interns in and then some part-time help. And that like period in between, we literally had no staff.
Mhm.
So we went like 2 weeks where we were here every day,
Yeah. One of us.
this is Monday through. This is every day of the week.
Every-
Like
every day of the week.
oh, what a
10:30 to 9 Monday through Thursday.
that's
or
a
Sunday through
huge
Thursday.
commitment.
And then
Well,
till
that's what you were
10
saying last
Friday
night,
and
so you're
Saturday.
7 days a week.
7 days
Yeah.
a week. Yep.
Yeah, and we have twins at home, and we don't have full-time childcare. So
Yeah.
if somebody's here, my mom comes like every other week, but usually if somebody's here, the other one's at home.
Oh, so you're
And then-
saying if you're here, then you're at home, but then you go to the shop when she gets home?
Sometimes.
It just depends what we got going on.
Yeah.
So
Every
you're fitting
week's
things
different.
in when you can fit
Yep.
things in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's part of the growth struggle we're in right now is we need to be together. We need everything in one spot because it's just like we're walking by each other and high-fiving and just
It would
Yeah.
be nice. It's
Yeah.
that like restaurant vibe of like in the other space. If you had an area for the kids to hang out
Yeah.
Right.
and you had
I
the
know,
print
we say
shop
that
and
too.
you had
Yeah.
the retail, then you guys could just hang, like I said, like a
Be
restaurant.
there.
Yeah.
You always see those kids get out of school and they're
Yeah.
sitting in the booth like all night long. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
I think you need to
Yeah.
get the twins ready to go, like printing or something.
I know.
Or folding.
Yeah.
or at least looking cute, selling shirts.
Yeah.
Like when they walk
They
through the door, they should both be standing there.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were here the first time like a week ago for like all day with me.
Mm.
And we sold a lot of stuff that day. It was like a Thursday. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, they might have to come here more often.
It's like the dog.
Yeah.
The worst people.
Yeah. Which we're trying out a new nanny.
Yeah. We just like met her today actually.
So that's going to help a little bit too.
Yeah.
And then we hired another girl today too. So yeah.
So one other question I have
Working
is,
out all the money.
Yeah.
how do you guys think up new designs for this place?
That's been a struggle that we're working through right now.
Do you just like look on the internet for inspiration and then you kind of make something your own?
You use a lot of
Yeah.
like antiques. Like
Yeah. I a lot of the stuff I love antiques. I love like old postcards and matchbooks and stuff like that. And I just kind of brainstorm out of a lot of those.
Right.
And then just-
Inspiration from those.
yeah.
And just go from there.
But it's
So you
like
have a
when-
really big Pinterest is what you're saying.
right.
I actually don't use Pinterest anymore much. To be honest with you, I use eBay a lot. eBay's like, for whatever reason, it's just easier. We
But-
do a lot of Indiana stuff. That
Yeah, we
was
have
never
been.
our goal. but we knew we had to hit that market by obviously being in Indiana.
Yeah.
So we've kind of forced that into our brand a little bit to
Well,
target the local.
that's what I was trying to talk to you last night. Is like I'm trying to do this side project thing with the New York thing, but the problem is like I live in New York, but there's so much New York that I don't know where there's like insider like sayings or like you know like areas that are popular where I could make something for that. I just don't know enough to where like now I'm like, oh, I really want to travel to this area and like see like what's
it's about.
Like-
what's that area about.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like if you're making Indiana stuff, are you thinking about that of like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I need to learn everything about Indiana?
Yeah. And it's hard for us because, you know, there's, you
I
know,
mean, it's a legit like
Yeah.
research
Yeah.
for your business.
Yeah,
thing. Like,
totally. I don't know. I feel like we don't want to corner ourselves into, especially Indiana. Like, I feel more comfortable doing like the Midwest. Like, yes, we do have to target the customers that come into this store, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
but see,
We
we
we'd
also
rather
do
just be an
custom.
outdoor brand that can be anywhere.
We also custom a lot of our designs to other places. So like we have a design that's kind of different state parks of Indiana. We kind of do that for other retail shops. So if they want our shirt, we can kind of make it for their local to them
Right,
or their
So
state.
if you want to be in someone's retail store, you're looking at something in their area to make it relevant.
Right.
Yeah.
And and definitely in that aspect, like I try to do research into those areas, and like,
Ask
we sell a
questions.
lot in Wisconsin, and I'm like, okay, I've got to hit up everybody I know in Wisconsin. Okay, what are the good places to go? What do you enjoy? What should we be designing for?
Yeah.
If I don't know. We need to go there.
Right.
Like, yeah.
It's like for me, there's a thing local to me, which is called a speedy sub. It's like chicken kebab, basically sandwich. And that's one of the things I'm trying to do right now is make like a speedy sub or a speedy sandwich shirt. And it's like, I don't know how anybody outside of our area that would get it. They'd be like,
Right.
what the fuck is this? Like, why is this
Yeah.
rock
Right.
bread sandwich on your thing? And I have to
Yeah.
explain,
Yeah.
no, it's chunks of chicken and like
Yeah.
all this other stuff. It's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying is like, for me in New York, I'm like, all right, I could easily make like a buffalo wing and I could make like
Yeah.
Niagara Falls and like the
Yeah.
Adirondacks,
Right.
like all these things. Those are widely known things, but I feel like there's niche things where you're like everyone in like this specific town, you could probably make a Coke related shirt and everyone would be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, hell yeah, I love that
Yeah.
because it's my town.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's something we've also talked about because we are an outdoor brand, but we've talked about doing other stuff that's not outdoor related.
Well, it's like this shirt it's our garage tee, so it has
Yeah.
the
Yeah, so
side
it's
of
got the actual
garage.
building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
it's not outdoor, but it's
But it's us. It's,
Yeah.
it's
Right, but if somebody walked in here and they're a regular, they'd be like, oh, I'd love
Oh,
that shirt.
yeah.
Because it's
I mean,
and it's one of our
top
biggest.
sellers,
Yeah, it's one of our biggest sellers.
Yeah. So I'm saying just business size, not thinking like creative minds. You are thinking of stuff like that because like
Yeah.
you said, like 80% of your business is local walk-ins.
Yeah.
Right.
So like you got to think about that money wise, thinking I got to pay my bills and I have
Mhm.
twins and
Mhm.
Right.
you're like, you'd want to
But there
dive deeper
are a lot
into
of
it.
travelers here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but do you feel like you would risk selling out? Like, is that something too artistically that you are, you know, you have this brand that's more outdoor, and yeah, you could probably incorporate Indiana into that somehow, but or you could go this direction and be just Indiana because somebody's tour, you know, like they're a tourist, like you said, they're
Right.
staying over
Yeah.
here at this
Yeah.
hotel. They come over here and they're not into outdoors, but they
Right.
sure as shit.
I just feel like you need a little of both.
Yeah.
But maybe they're just like, hey,
Yeah.
look, this isn't
Yeah.
my thing. We don't give a shit about that, and
Yeah.
we're outdoor brand.
Well,
Yeah, and that is what I want. I did like they're selling and like our Midwest stuff. Like that isn't even outdoors, but it's like always been one of our top sellers.
Yeah.
But it's not what I want to do.
yeah.
I just feel like it's a longer, slower road to try to do a generalized brand
Yeah.
than it is to like
At least
work
As
on
much as-
something that's more.
yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
you do have to be
do it.
careful.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say do what you want to do for sure and
Yeah.
work on that. But I think if I had bills to pay and I had employees and I had to work,
They don't have bills.
I'm just saying you would want to like sell out a little bit because you need to sell shirts.
Just, yeah. A little bit of
You can't
sellout,
make a
but-
brand where you're like, oh, I
Yeah,
just
that's
like
the thing, right? Just
Just
like a tiny sellout.
Yeah.
you need to a little bit,
Yeah.
like to a degree.
Well,
If you don't, nobody's gonna fucking buy anything.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
what we're trying to do is like, incorporate a little bit of local, but not too much, because everybody, any shop in any town is always doing local stuff. So it's like, we want to be different. We don't want to be the same old.
Oh, I fully, yeah.
I don't know. I
Same
think
old,
it's
same
punk
old.
rock. I think it's punk rock to say this is our brand. We know we could print this shirt and sell like X amount of whatever.
Yeah.
But we're going to stick with this.
Yeah.
We're going to stay this
And
course.
punk rock kids are usually squatting in someone's fucking abandoned house because they have no money.
Right.
Right.
Well, and
Well-
it's like the Indy 500 was last week, and like we're not going to print a race car T-shirt. Like
Yeah.
it just
I'm just
doesn't
saying,
make
to a
sense.
degree,
And
your
we could make a
brand-
bunch of money, but
You can make things locally that fit your brand.
Right.
I'm not saying go way out. It's not like you would do
I
a
hear what
Disney
you're saying.
shirt.
I hear what you're
Right.
saying.
I'm just saying, like,
This is niche, and it's a smaller piece of the pie
Yeah.
than if
Mhm.
it were other things.
right. If you had
Get
a
it,
couple
but-
other chunks of pie that like help pay the bills,
right.
then you could work
Yeah.
harder on the generalized brand because you have cash flow.
Yeah. While we're on pies, what is your favorite pie? You go first.
Me,
Ladies first.
I mean, I would just go raspberry
Raspberry. I didn't see that.
with
I didn't
with a scoop
Wow.
of vanilla ice.
I mean, this is the Indy 500, and I think you have to go apple pie.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But
Apple pie.
Apple all the way for me.
Yeah.
Totally.
oh yeah, New York. It's at the Big Apple.
There's
No,
something
that's
about an
not
apple.
New York, is it?
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. Dang it. Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't know.
What's your
What-
pie?
Oh, apple. Yeah.
Apple
What's that?
He's doing like mince meat.
on the yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that
I don't know. I
real
feel like
meat in a
my
pie?
grandma always bought. She didn't make them, but she bought.
I would say
raspberry pie.
shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
Shepherd's
Um,
pie.
By the way, on our way here, so those that don't know, we drove from St. Louis to Indianapolis. It's about a 4-hour drive. We stopped halfway for a little potty break
Mhm.
at a Love's. Have you been to a Love's?
Yep.
Well, I love Love's for some way.
I love too.
In some ways, in other ways, I'm not so sure because it's the type of place where they you can get a shower and
Yep.
stuff like this. If
Yeah.
they were announcing, hey Bill, your shower is ready or whatever,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting here at the urinal, and I look over, and there's this dude. And you know how you sent me that, or I don't know if you did. Somebody posted the meme of a guy buying a hot dog and he put it on the counter.
Oh yeah, I did.
Check
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
So in there, I glance over. I look
Please
over.
tell me you set it on the urinal.
He was brushing his teeth and he put his toothbrush down on the counter, like by the. I was like, whoa.
I got-
This is not your
I got yelled at last night. We were eating at the table and you get multiple things, multiple places. And I would finish something from somewhere and I set it off to the side, but I had my tray and then I was eating something else and a bunch of it fell onto the tray and I ate it off the tray. And they were like, what
Oh
the
my
fuck?
Was there paper on the tray?
No, it was just like a tray.
They
that-
clean everyone.
and they were, and
Oh
they were
yeah,
like,
I'm sure really well.
Yeah.
Fully sanitized.
they were like, did you see that off the tray?
It's like my
You seem
stomach
okay.
has acid.
I'm just
Yeah.
I'm building immunity.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not getting what's the new one, monkeypox or whatever. Skipping that.
Yeah.
So you guys are here now.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
shop is at another place. You're looking for a new place.
Mhm.
Are you overall happy with the way everything's going and selling and growing, or
We're having growth struggle right now, and we've been having a lot of talks of where do we take this?
Yeah. What do we do?
What do we focus
what are
on?
your options?
Yeah, we a lot of the time we sit like we're doing too many things. We're not working together because
Yeah.
we're in separate locations, so we're not collaborating. But we're also taking custom orders, doing this stuff for retail, doing wholesale. So we're
We're stretched
doing a
thin.
lot, and it's like, do we just focus
What
more
do you-
so on one
What do you
thing?
think is the leader in what to do?
Retail
mean,
and wholesale.
Well, production and
One space.
one.
Yeah,
space.
one space. for
That's
sure.
number one, and then from there, I don't know. Like
Yeah.
Well,
Are
we were
you-
talking last night about possible not printing,
yes, and we've
Oh.
discussed that too. Of
What do you mean selling off the
outsourcing the printing. somewhere
Yeah.
else.
just focusing solely on the brand and pushing the brand. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen soon, but I think at some point we
Yeah.
might have to. It just depends on,
Well, and I think
I don't know.
you really struggled like working alone in a space that's just you printing, and it's
struggle? How?
It's, I think a lot of it has to do with I'm thrown everywhere all the time, where it's like I'm down here for a little bit, I'm running home, I'm running to the shit. Like it's
a lot of back and forth.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
But I also feel like you do not thrive working alone. Like you need,
He's a social butterfly.
right.
Okay.
As you can tell.
I can see it. I can see it.
I mean, everybody needs human connection, you know, but
I feel like the other hard part
Especially
would be
with
though that
creative
you were a skilled printer, and then you started your own printing, and then you trying to find someone to print for you. You're gonna nitpick the shit out of
Yeah, and we've tried that.
Everything.
Especially your own brand. Is that what you mean?
right. I'm
Yeah.
saying your own brand, your
Yeah.
quality standards are gonna be so high.
you guys
Right.
don't want to print it.
Right.
So
I'm just saying. I definitely don't want to print it. I'm just saying, like, you're gonna be extra picky. And the thing is, with the printer, you can tell him to his face, be like, "I know what you're doing wrong,"
Right.
and they're gonna be like, "No, it's not,"
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it's just gonna be.
But I also, obviously I would pick somebody I trust, but
yeah,
yeah,
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying,
that's-
shit happens. Like Andy fucks up one colors. Like,
Yeah, and I was gonna say like we have one shirt in here that he reprinted 3 times because we were just in such a rush and we didn't double check the artist's work, and then
I just know from like me at the shop, like we print a lot of upstate shirts, and it's
Yeah.
like I will nitpick the shit out of those, and
Oh, yeah.
I hate knowing that I sacrificed something, or you're looking at it and like it's your job, and the printers just want to print it to get it done because it's your side thing,
Yeah.
and you're like, all right, no, that's fine, just go ahead and run it, and then when it's done, you're like, damn it, it's not it's not where I wanted it, and then you're supposed to give it away. And the thing is, a lot of the shirts I give away to other print shops.
right.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, they're going to notice what I noticed.
Yep.
yeah,
And then to a point, you just have to let go. And you're like, it's a shirt. Like,
which I have let go a lot of that. I mean, we reprint a lot of these products all the time, and
you tweak it every time. So
sometimes I do. Like I make it better, or maybe the temperature. Like everything in here is water based. There's, I think, one that we still are doing plastisol, but everything else is water based, and that was a process switching everything over to water based. But there is inconsistencies with it at times because it is water based and different. You're printing in the winter, you're printing in the summer. You get some different color.
right. Different variations.
Yeah, different variations. And I see it. Nobody else is really going to see it, but
No,
it's like,
the customer, the lady that just came in with her stroller is not going to be like, oh, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we do wholesale and we restock those wholesales. So
Right.
it's like, I have to make sure that those are like noted and everything. Cause if not, it's like they're going to have 2 completely different colored shirts, and this is what's going to look like sitting next to each other.
I mean, because there's like one of our natural tees. We've printed that in like 3 different natural tones because they're
Yeah.
never all in stock.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
And that's something, like I said, I'm dealing with the other thing I'm doing is the color shirts I wanted. Like I really wanted to stick with this one brand, but they didn't have in stock in the color I wanted. So I was like, all right, instead of a 3001 CBC, I'll use this. And then we were putting them on a model the other day to like take a picture, and we noticed that the fit was different.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm like, what happens if someone wants to buy one of each shirt? They're all going to fit different.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn it,
Yeah, and
I
we've
didn't think about that.
Yeah. We've
And
ran into that issue with like 6210 for next level. And then 3001 CVC is like, they fit differently.
Right.
And it's like hard to stay consistent.
But what happens if you get a customer that's like a loyal customer and they buy a medium and another shirt,
Right.
and then it doesn't fit them?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is a struggle we have. We've tried to stick with Bella Canvas as much as possible and a few all made, but it's been a struggle to keep consistency.
I mean, one of our top sellers is a crew neck sweatshirt, and we cannot.
That one, the Rome one.
Yeah, the Rome.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we literally this week just switched from 3901 to the independent because
45.
It's a good move, I think.
cannot get it.
Yeah.
Ever.
And
Love it.
it's been our biggest
Yeah, no,
seller
it's great.
since we opened our store. And there's been 3 months where like we don't have it at all because you can't get it.
Yeah.
And we're scouring everywhere trying to find it. And
But yeah, then it's like we've got our wholesale customers that then we've got to say, okay, sorry, you guys all have this different style. Now we're switching it. Hopefully
Yeah.
you guys will still buy it. Like,
yeah. And we've had to pull all of our stock at a store to send to wholesale customers because we just can't get it. So
Yeah.
they take our inventory. And obviously we're still making money on it. It's quicker money,
Yeah.
but the margins are lower. So, you
But
know,
it's not
that's,
sitting here.
yeah, true.
I missed that part. So you're saying you have shops where you that carry your stuff too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
heard
We might not have even mentioned that. So.
I got carried away by some of the music here.
Yeah.
The Bee Gees are really good.
Yeah. Yeah. So we do a lot of wholesale and we're really trying to focus more energy on that.
Yeah.
It's
Well, it helps you grow the brand too.
Yeah.
In other
Exactly.
places.
Yep.
and
Lots of
it's,
exposure, tons
Yeah.
of exposure. That
it's less marketing work that we have to do because we're terrible at marketing. So
What are your top sellers?
a Rome crew neck, anything that's Becker.
Yeah.
If it's got our brand on it, people love it.
Yeah.
So we've been
That's
really
not.
good
I
news.
we've been trying to like switch everything over a little bit more.
try to make sure like everything's at least says Becker.
I was gonna say, do you do like a design on the front that's like some kind of theme, and then you might do like a nape print of like Becker on the back?
We usually try to just like incorporate it into
Yeah.
the design somewhere.
I got an idea.
Yeah.
I think you buy the marketing list for every Becker in America,
Right.
and then just
They
shoot
all
them,
want to
just
discount.
blast them out.
Yeah.
And- I don't know.
I mean, it really does work. Like we've gotten custom work because they're Becker. They came in here, bought a shirt.
That's their last name.
Yeah.
We didn't realize
There
how
was,
popular the name was.
Yeah.
There was like I think it's like a social studies teacher or something at my school was Mrs. Becker.
Yeah.
I'll tell her about us.
She was mean.
Yeah. Tell her don't.
Yeah.
What was it? We did oh man, I want to remember the name of this last name so badly, but we once printed a shirt for
No way. You printed a shirt?
it happened. True.
Just one.
And it was for, let's just say it was Becker because I can't remember the last name. And
Yeah.
we printed the shirt and it was spelled wrong. Like maybe there was no C. So like we spelled it Beker.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh shit. And so we got it wrong, right? And so we fixed
You
it,
found
replaced
someone
it.
with that actual.
No, like a week later, just total randomly, somebody came in the shop and it was how they spelled their name and they bought them all. It wasn't
What?
for a reunion or anything, just bought them all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sort of
You got lucky on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But that is a good idea if you do spell it wrong. Just call
You go
somebody
through the
up.
phone book and you're like, hey, do you want to buy 100 shirts with your name on it?
Like
You get those emails right now that says that like with your name on it that says, hey, check out the shirt we designed
That's
for you.
Facebook for sure. It
Yeah.
says like, yeah, it's got your name with like crossing tools and whatever.
Yeah.
God.
Like, you would love this. Well, you ready for questions for us? Or
So
do you guys have any questions for us?
I was gonna ask Andy. So tips on like working with your significant other.
Let her do whatever she wants. I know that's the answer.
I think for the most part, yeah, of course. And by that, it's just super easy because our roles are so different.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're doing the same job. I think that's pretty key part. And in fact, I think most shops that I know that are couples, like, I don't know, night owls, right? In-house.
American Veil.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of shops and whenever I talk to them, they always have completely different roles.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not even in the same room or office or whatever, sort of like in your case, I guess.
Yeah.
Joanne and I, our desks are back to back.
Yeah.
And have been since day one, hour one. They're IKEA desks. I put them on top. I didn't have a truck to transport it, and I tied them to the roof of my car. And they're not actually desks; they're dining room tables, and so they're massive.
Oh, wow.
And I put them in there, and on her first day, we weren't dating or anything yet. On her first day, I was thinking
my
our desks are like right in this office back to back together.
Yeah.
Or we can
That's
yours can go out
You
there.
shut the door.
Creeper. Yeah.
I think you're going to be in here with me.
Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't realize that you guys like started working together first and
Yeah, I met her.
Lowe's.
I went to Lowe's Home Improvement for our front counter because I was buying a couple of cabinet bases and I was going to wrap them and then put some granite or quartz on top. And that was going to be our front counter. And she was a kitchen designer. She has a BFA in design and everything, but at the time she was a kitchen designer for Lowe's.
Yeah.
and I walked up and she helped me out.
That's crazy.
You're doing great at looking busy, by the way. You vacuumed that rug like 36 times.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate it. Got time to lean, time to clean.
I think we appreciate it more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would too. I wish people like vacuumed and cleaned up,
Oh, yeah.
and swept up at our shop more, because I'll walk by. The other day there was this
It's a lot
clump
better than
of,
her sitting on her phone back there.
there was a
Oh,
clump of
sure.
something that had ended up by shipping and receiving, and I walked by it once.
It was your
I was
hair.
super busy once, twice, and I'm like, it's still there. And then I thought like I should pick it up. I'm like, no. I'm going to see how long it sits there.
Yeah.
I think it was 3 days.
Oh my God.
Like it was 3 days, but that happens sometimes. What
Yeah,
we're saying,
double-
oh yeah. So I guess my advice is that I think at times it's been challenging, and I think it's taken a toll, because if we both have a rough day and then we get home and then we're going to, talk about work again, and then it's just more of that. This happened, that happened. I think that we catch ourselves doing that, and we try and get out of that. I think that when we decide to leave the shop and we drive home, we live like 15 minutes from the shop. By the time we hit home, we need to really be done talking about the shop, and we're going to go on a walk. And I know what happens sometimes. It creeps back into the
Yep.
conversation, because you're like,
Always.
so what do you think of this? But then when I notice we do that, I just try to just change it back to like her thing, because she's got a side hustle. So she's
Yeah.
in fact kind of transitioning out of the shop a little bit and working on her thing. And so I was like, hey, we just did my thing. Like I shouldn't say mine, but like we just did the Shirkong thing for all day.
Right.
Like, so let's just talk about your thing today, or not, or just maybe let's talk about Dylan for a little
Right.
bit, or just anything
Something
else,
different. Yeah. Just TV show.
yeah, something
Whatever,
different, because,
whatever it may
we
be.
are, we don't have that. Oh, I like, hey, how was your day today?
Yeah.
I missed you, and this kind of thing, because we were there, even though sometimes we don't
But
see
you
each
really
other
don't
much.
know how they experience the day.
That's true. And so that's why that is a good conversation sometimes. And if they had a crummy day and they didn't know that you did,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden they are the perfect person
Yeah.
for support, because they will truly get you,
Yeah.
whereas maybe somebody else was like, oh yeah, it sounds really hard,
Yeah.
or something, but they truly get you. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that, did you ask me for advice or just how?
Tips.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
tips.
I think that was a good tip,
Did you
though.
ask me for
Okay.
life advice? I forget.
I think that was a really good tip. To leave it at work and try to support her.
Yeah.
when you go.
Yeah.
I feel like with us, like we always like, especially when we worked at somebody else's shop, we always felt like we had to be super professional, like no like lovey-dovey, like anything ever.
Oh yeah, no
And-
PDA, like
yeah.
anything.
So like that just became like who we were.
You should have totally just been making out like
the entire time.
Just like-
that played a huge part in like how our relationship is.
Yeah.
It, there's
we've
like
always
this
been very
professional
business.
level, which
Yeah.
is weird.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's it too. So like there's a bunch of other people on our team, and wouldn't it be weird and probably gross to them if we're just like always like, making out and
Yeah.
touching up on each
Yeah.
other. And so, or maybe even it wouldn't be that, but it wouldn't be professional,
Right.
necessarily. And if we're doing it, if we're setting that example, then maybe other people
Yeah.
think that that's cool to do or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, you're right. We try and keep it pretty professional.
Yeah.
Like that most time. I can't see your eyes right now.
I
It's
know,
freaking
he
me
might
out.
be sleeping.
I think he's over there.
Usually when Andy goes on a long rant, just do this.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Well, let's talk about your personal life, Dylan.
No, it's not.
How do you guys get along?
I want to hear.
Nope. We're done.
Tell us.
End of
Did you guys have anything else?
I mean, I guess this is a question for both of you. So we've had a lot of marketing issues with getting ourselves out there. Do you guys like advertise at all? Like outside of just posting, like do you spend dollars on actually advertising
Like a
posts
lot of
or a
money.
campaign?
I boost posts in there with
Yeah.
Instagram or Facebook or whatever, but that's it.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
never like a high amount. It's usually like if I post something on Instagram and I see it gets a lot more attention than the average post,
Yeah.
I might boost it for like $100 for like 10 days.
Yeah.
Right.
And just to get it out to more faces,
Right.
whatever. But that's really it. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's small things like you know, if you were to do an online order, are you putting in stickers and a postcard that says on your next order, get 10% off or whatever? Because then it makes them want to come back.
Yeah.
Right.
And all
And
these
we,
other
we
things.
do stuff like that.
Yeah. So like, I think that's
we
the
try,
biggest
but
thing.
it's like we can't like we just
Or like
keep
a
saying
card
we
that says,
can't
like,
do
give this
everything.
card
There's
to your
only two of
friends.
us.
Right. Like
Yeah.
hand this card to a friend and then
Yeah.
they get 10% off the next shirt and you get 10% off the next shirt or
Yeah.
like promo codes or whatever. I think
Yeah.
that's really all you can
Right.
do for the most part. is-
Yeah.
Or for you with a brand, you could do like, oh, I just soaked myself.
I was waiting so hard.
You
It
know,
doesn't happen.
happen.
I've been doing this for a while.
It's okay. That's just fully in my butthole right now. I just got a bidet.
So great. So great.
So,
Um,
so Dylan got wet at Becker
I got
Supply.
so wet, Becker.
I
I'm
think
gonna
that
tattoo that. I mean,
I think that
can you make a shirt that says
yeah.
Dylan got wet.
Absolutely, I will.
that needs to go in our merch store. Actually.
Yeah.
I think marketing for us would be totally different than it is for you. We don't.
Yeah.
I don't market at all. And so I think though that obviously with a brand, that's a totally different
Yeah.
Yeah.
beast. You know, so I don't know. I don't even have advice for it. So.
Yeah, I mean, we don't advertise really our custom side. I mean, we've got an Instagram, but it's
Yeah, but like you said, it's not something you want to do necessarily.
Yeah.
yeah, we're very particular in who we choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed every time I've
I'm so wet right now.
thought about marketing, because sometimes we're approached by, I don't know, different places in St. Louis, and you want to market here or there. And I just think that half the time we're not compatible, you know, with that, because a lot of people think that screen printers, then you print for sports teams. You know, whenever I mention that to somebody, like, hey, what do you do? Oh, I print t-shirts. Like, oh, the sports leagues and everything like that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, actually, hardly any.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So we'll get approached by people that say, hey, do you want to go in or you want to put a banner at our softball whatever park?
Yeah.
And
No,
we
the
don't.
answer is no.
Definitely.
Yeah, the answer is absolutely no. Like, we don't want to print for a softball team. It's just not our.
I think the best approach is necessarily like if you're gonna do the marketing, you're going to do things that want to retain the customers you have. Like I said, like if you're giving them a discount on their next order, that's getting them to come back.
Yeah.
Or you're, you know, if I'm boosting a post on Instagram, it's a design that we really like to print and the niche that we really want to do. And when I go through and do like the analytics part of like, who do I want this to go to? It's to people that are like the post that I posted.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Have you
So
tried
I'm
something
trying
like
to get
that?
more work
Yeah.
from the same type of people.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm trying to keep the people that I have. It's not that I'm trying to throw out a wide net and hope to get random shit in.
No.
Right.
It's I'm specifically targeting things.
That is so well put, Dylan. Have you tried something like that where you go to Facebook and choose your demo?
Yep.
And then put dollars on
Do you
it?
like trees.
Yeah.
That
I mean,
work for you.
that's usually what I do. I mean, I try to target
Yeah.
people that like the outdoors.
And how does that work for the people who are listening that have a brand? Does that work for you?
It does. I mean,
Not significant.
we don't spend a lot of money on it, and we're not marketers. So
I
like
know.
we're currently working on like bringing somebody on the team to like help us grow that side of it.
That's what I was
Yeah.
going to say next. And that's something I'm kind of looking into right now. And you're kind of doing the same thing with Kevin. It's just like getting help with outside help with
Oh,
how you're doing your sales. But like I have a guy right now that I'm talking to, like a really good friend of mine, Sydney, is like like beyond smart. Like I feel like I'm very like smooth brain compared to her. And like she is very, I know exactly how to do this. I've worked for really large companies and done the same thing. She's like, there's a guy I know that I worked with at this big company that he is like a rock star at this and he does freelance.
Yeah.
Right.
So I've got him coming in now and he's like, you know, already like, oh, give me this, this, and this, and this on the back end. Let me see like who's coming to your website and like who's your demographic and like all these other things. And he's going to like tweak all that stuff to make it to where not necessarily we have this marketing plan, but everything I have is optimized toward the kind of clients that I already want.
Right.
And then he's going to be like, all right, well, now you can put a budget together for targeting those people more.
Right.
So that's kind of what we're doing is, like I said, I want to get the same kind of clients that I want to get.
Right.
And that's the goal, is to not do a huge net. I don't want, like Andy said, I don't want the sports teams and the softball clubs. And
Yeah.
the
I mean, I feel like me understanding that, like coming from screen print, totally makes sense. But I don't even have an idea of how to do that for a brand. You know, like that's
I feel like it's the same
totally
thing though.
different.
It's like I'm trying to get a client that is into the type of artwork that I want to print.
Right.
You're the same thing. You're trying to optimize towards people that like to go hiking and
Yeah.
like to be outdoors.
Yeah.
So like you should just, like you said, focus on those kind of people. And those kind of people are super vocal. Like I noticed that like over the past couple of months for me. And like I said, we were talking about walking. Like I love hiking now and I love walking. And it's like,
He could be your influencer.
right. Like I'll put a shirt on and be like, hey, I love the outdoors. But it's the same kind of thing. It's like those people are they like to show off the fact that they're into hiking and loving outdoors. Those are the people that you see going down the road with like a million stickers on their back window of like,
Absolutely.
I've been to these places.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with a shirt. I feel like they're like, I've been to this thing. So I feel like you can easily target those people on Facebook because we're constantly posting like, hiked this mountain, did this thing.
I like that idea. And I like the idea of you being that, like the face of it, or the both of you being the face of it. So you could be, like have hiking tips with Jake.
Yeah.
And so you're, and maybe they're
one foot in front of the other.
and maybe they're wrong, like are super obvious. And you're out there with your, I don't know how you hike, with a backpack, and do you have
twins?
Do you have a
one on the back?
Yeah.
With the kids.
Yeah, with the kids. Yeah.
yeah? And so, and then, but at the same time, you're wearing your, some merch from your thing, but it's not about the merch.
Right.
No,
it's not.
Yeah, it's about the story, and it's about, hey, I'm out here and I'm doing this thing outdoors.
Yeah.
Sort of like what Nike would do.
Is like somebody will buy a shirt that's like a park here, and they tell me their favorite story of their time at that park.
Beautiful.
I mean, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what the same thing would be said for Vans or Nike or anything else, because whenever you see marketing from them, it's not just Nike shoes or whatever. It's somebody, hey, I'm doing this thing that's hard. Yeah, I'm running, and then they happen to be wearing Nike.
Same thing like Black Rifle. Like people buy all that stuff because they love like the military stuff, or they love like the hunting stuff, or all this other stuff. Like they're buying it because they want to be part of that brand, not necessarily the coffee or anything to do with the coffee.
Right. Which is like what we were saying before. I think it's so cool that yes, we're an outdoor brand, and that is what we stand for. But people still want to buy the stuff that says Becker on it, and that's so cool to me. Like,
they just think it looks cool and they want to be part of it.
I mean, I never thought anybody would care. You go into it and you're like, I just enjoy this. This is cool to me, and
it's like a painting.
Awesome to see. It's awesome to see.
It means different things to different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we work with a lot of like ambassadors, and we want to figure out how to do that better. We just need to spend more money.
Gotta spend money, make money.
Yeah. But I mean, we give a lot of apparel out. We do paid people too, and like we get them gear, and they're living out of their van, or they're going on big trips, and so we hire a bunch of homeless people.
We clothe the homeless.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's where we get a lot of our content outside of this space.
Yeah.
We don't have a photographer that's like on staff, or we don't hire anybody.
That's okay though.
That's the exact same thing I just did with the Tea Club stuff. Is I literally I printed like a couple hundred of each design, and I knew going into it I was going to give away at least 100 of each design to people just because I needed content.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to be like every shirt's just me in it, and I'm like, buy my stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't want you to wear it. That'll hurt me.
None of us got one.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
Yes. You didn't let me finish.
We could have been doing content in Indiana for you.
I know. I did bring some shirts. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You want to do quick takes? Is that why you're holding this phone up to me?
Yeah, I think that's next.
Okay, go.
Oh yeah, it says me first.
Yeah, always.
And we can share this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, vacation or staycation?
Vacation.
Vacation.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
I've really been just wanting to go to Florida or the mountains.
Yeah, mountains or Florida.
Okay. All right.
We haven't gone anywhere in so long. Like literally, I'll go anywhere.
Messy desk or clean desk?
Messy desk. Clean desk.
I like to clean it up like at the end of the day, but chaos throughout the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And I asked this last time. So, okay, clean desk. I'm with you there. I feel that. But what about if you pull a drawer open? Is everything just stuffed into there?
Not usually. I mean, I have piles that like all organized, but they're not necessarily
They're to-do pile. Like,
they're messy in the pile, but like I know what
I mean, nobody else would know what's happening in this pile.
And you, messy desk, messy drawers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Not-
don't know. I feel
not
like I don't
much
even
drawers.
use the drawers.
You have messy drawers.
I have messy drawers right now.
I just put everything in my bag because I need everything with me.
She's like, it's in the bag. I'm like, well, this is going to be an hour project.
Okay.
I kind of think I
No
know.
answer.
I think I know the
Yeah,
answer. I think I know the answer. Yeah. Test the waters or dive in the deep end.
Dive.
Hard dive
Have to, yeah.
and hit the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Concussion on
then
the
we'll
bottom.
figure it out. Yeah.
Float to the top.
Right. Crunchy peanut butter or smooth peanut butter?
Smooth.
Smooth.
Jelly or no
I like
jelly?
some. I
I'm
like
not-
crunchy.
No jelly.
Yeah, see, me too. He thought I was a weirdo. For that.
I like honey
Yeah.
with my peanut butter.
As an outdoor,
I just do straight white bread with peanut butter.
as outdoor people, I for sure thought you were going to say crunchy. So I'm a little disappointed, but that's okay. I'll live with it.
I
Like
so I
random
will
nuts they
say
found on the.
I have
tree
crunchy
floor.
and smooth in our pantry.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's there as an option.
Also, do you hate when, like, if you're going to get some peanuts, peanuts,
Peanuts.
watch what you say.
do you like just having a jar of the peanuts that you can just, eat, or do you go through the effort of like cracking the shell and peeling off all that shit? Is that okay with you? Or
You're trying like a whole peanut?
Yes.
Like with the shell and
Yes.
everything?
Like you just eat the shell.
I throw the whole thing in my mouth. I don't eat
like
the
a
whole thing.
sunflower seed where you
Yeah,
put a
You suck
sunflower?
the salt off and then you spit
Yeah.
it out.
I break it in half when it's in my mouth, drop the peanuts in my mouth, and throw the
Drop-
shell away.
He
So
said
you-
peanuts. I really hope
Was that a trick question?
I put the whole peanuts in the mouth.
Yep. Both of them. Not just one, both of them.
The whole thing. All the way to the shell.
This is me now. Oh yeah.
I hope so.
All right, guys. Yeah. What's for dinner?
Well, you're going with us to dinner.
Harry and Izzy's.
Where? Oh yeah. Where's
that where we're
Where's it at?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you weren't there for that conversation.
No, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we tried to go to the famous.
Well, we might still. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I think,
Thought
isn't
you were
Harry
gonna
and,
say, did you say you were going to see if they had a table maybe?
Oh, I'll go on a separate day with him.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I think it'll be easier to walk in for 4 people than it will be for
What is the
Yeah.
place
Yeah.
called?
what's it?
Harry and Izzy's.
Harry and Izzy's.
Yeah.
I guess it's a sister restaurant to the steakhouse that we were going to go to.
St.
Yeah.
St. Elmo's.
St. Elmo's.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is it close by here? Or is it away?
It's downtown.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Okay.
just,
We have reservations at 8:30, so we got 2 hours.
Sweet.
I'm on Central Time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds
All
wonderful.
messed up.
Well, thanks for letting us crash your store while
Yeah,
few
thanks
for
customers are
having
coming
me.
in, and it's not been too weird or awkward.
No.
I mean, it's an honor to have you guys like do your first in-person
Yeah.
podcast with
And
us
it's 100% not going to be not going to
recording.
work.
We're not going
Yeah.
to be able to hear you.
You're going to hear Andy and that's it.
Yeah, 'cause every time, every
Like,
time
hello.
he talks, he goes,
Andy's voice and her laugh.
Yeah.
That is literally it. Yeah. I might have already broken.
Andy's going to be like, what's for dinner? And all we're hearing is,
Yeah.
So if you need a new podcast idea,
Yeah.
you can talk, she can laugh.
That's it.
Love it.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Did your voice just crack?
No.
You hit puberty
I
finally?
just,
It did.
the water
100%.
lubricated the dropping.
All right, that's it. So I guess we sign off, right?
Yeah.
You can